Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy BK97Z back at it again for another video. I apologize for the long layoff, guys. Your boy's been busy, been grinding, but we're back. Warzone is here, and you know B-Night, he's got the tips for you. So basically, the first tip I got for you guys is that you want to change your aim assist to precision. So with this controller settings video, my goal is to kind of show you guys tips that I'll show you the basic tips for someone who's maybe just watching this as their first video, but I also want to show you tips that most people aren't going to talk about. So for a controller player, aim assist is kind of viewed as OP, that coming from the Fortnite movement, but I personally like precision just because what it does is, obviously if you read it, the aim down, the slowdown that kicks in when you move close to the target isn't as strong. I often find that when I'm moving on a target, I'm pretty close to estimating where my turn needs to be, but the slowdown slows that down and I end up stopping a little bit short, or I end up overcompensating for that, for what I think it's going to be, and it doesn't slow down and ends up being a little long. That's why I like precision. I think precision is pretty great. The main one everyone's going to talk about is the use reload behavior. This is going to be obviously for Warzone as well, and a lot of these tips work for regular COD too, but nobody really cares about regular COD right now. So the use reload behavior, you want to change to contextual tap. This just allows you to basically use everything like X in Fortnite with just a tap instead of a hold, because holding the button to pick up guns takes forever, and I didn't even know this was an option until someone told me, and I just need to share it. But yeah, it just allows you to reload normally when you hold X, but everything else is just tap for X to pick up stuff. So the next thing a lot of people are kind of doing is, let's see, the depleted, that's pretty common, but let's see, the slide behavior. Change it to tap just because you don't want to have to hold if you're trying to slide. I slide a lot of times, just like if I'm trying to avoid sniper fire, or if I'm running into a building, or just trying to zigzag. Sliding is pretty effective, or just trying to have some fun. It's easier to hold it instead of just, or tap it instead of just holding it, because holding it sometimes can be troublesome. Let's see, what else do we have in the actual movement setting? So I like actually automatic sprint. Automatic sprint is pretty great because, or actually it's automatic tactical sprint. When you're moving forward, it makes your character automatically run and do the tactical sprint, which is pretty nice, just because you don't have to click your stick 1,000 times, and a lot of times that can actually wear out your analog stick, believe it or not. I've had some analog sticks tend to drift, which kind of gets annoying. But yeah, I would definitely kind of look into that, just depending on how your play style is. And then another big thing that a lot of people don't do, but I've been kind of doing this forever because I've been playing COD for so long. I recommend turning off controller vibration, just because it allows you to basically kind of have more control over your controller in your hands, because obviously if it's not vibrating, it's going to be more able to be manipulated without distraction. I think that's going to be a really important thing. And then for general, the film grain I think is really important. I don't know why people don't turn this down. Yeah, I guess it helps with your graphic settings if you have it turned up, just because it's not as hard, like taxing on your console for the game to load. I have an Xbox One X, so I don't really care. It's not that big of a difference. I'm never going to be at a disadvantage to anyone on console. PC is obviously a different thing, but I have a pretty cheese PC too, so honestly, not really concerned about that. So I just kind of turn it down anyway. This turns up the anti-aliasing, which basically makes the picture better, and it gets rid of all that little fragment. But yeah, the virtual noise I'm not a huge fan of. It just makes the game look uglier. It doesn't look as crisp. Whether or not it causes a performance dip, that's up to you to decide. I don't think it even really matters on console, to be completely honest with you. So again, this is a console video, so if you're playing on PC, don't even worry about these settings, just because honestly keyboard and mouse are low-key kind of better, but you didn't hear that from me because I'm a controller guy. A lot of people mess with the colorblind type. You can look at this, and this is just kind of going to be preference. I kind of like Tritanopia if I'm going to do anything as far as colorblind test, but I think just the regular is fine for me. Another big tip that I like, moving into the next thing, is we're going to turn off motion blur. So if you obviously you guys are probably watching Ninja and Courage and all these guys playing on PC, and when they're moving really fast with the mouse, it's it looks weird, and then you can definitely tell they're playing on PC. That's because, well, one, they have motion blur off because that's what most high-end players do. But when, obviously, if you're moving fast, even if you're moving like on a controller or really even not that fast at all, look at the right picture. That's how it looks, slowed down like frame by frame, and that's to help with the way some people perceive, like their eyes process the images in their brain. It just kind of helps eliminate some of the motion sickness some people get. I'm not really that sensitive to that, so I don't even really bother with it, but same thing with your weapon motion blur, I just turn it off. Another really cool tip though that I picked up is that you can change your mini-map shape to square. I really like this. This is like classic COD. I wish I would have seen this sooner because I really do like this, and I think it's kind of definitely like something pretty big. This mini-map rotation, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm gonna leave it off for now, just because I like when it's planted. So this basically just means that you are not, your map doesn't rotate with you when your character rotates. It's your character rotating around the map. So the map, you become in reference to the map, and versus the map moving with you. So you being the, not the subject, but the foreground. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But basically, yeah, if play around with the setting, just tweak it on and off, and it's a really easy setting to like look at and see how you feel about. But I think it could be pretty advantageous to keep it disabled. Now, one last thing, I actually kind of forgot to put this in. A lot of people play on default, and I don't know what happened with the most recent update, but it was putting a lot of my friends on bumper ping by default. I don't know if it's trying to get people to test out a new setting or what, or it's just a glitch. But instead of default, which most people probably play on, I play on Xbox. It's going to be the same layout for PS4, but tactical allows you to use switch your B button and your right stick to your right stick being crouch and prone, versus the B button being melee. So what that does is, this used to be really big back in Modern Warfare 2, in COD 4 kinda, this is when it got its popularity. But anyway, it allows you to keep your thumbs on the controller while crouching, versus like having to take it off to press B to crouch or go prone. And this was just pretty useful because you're laying prone a lot of times sniping in Warzone, or laying down to get cover to put on some plates. So I think it's pretty important to not have to take your button off the trigger, because who's meleeing in Warzone? Let's be real. Unless you're doing a finishing move, you don't need it. So that's just my tips, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what videos you guys want to see down below in the comments. I got a lot of stuff for you. I don't know what you guys want to see, so just let me know. It's been your boy BK97Z. I enjoy having you guys in the comments down below and watching the videos. Leave a like if you will. It really helps me out. And you guys are the goats. We'll see you later.